Real English Lounge.
The art of everyday English.
Can I tell you about the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever had at work?
Please.
I was about to ask my manager for a raise. I had prepared. I had a script. I knew exactly what I was going to say.
And
I sat down. She looked at me. And what came out was, I just wanted to check in about how things are going.
you chickened out.
Completely. I left the meeting having raised absolutely nothing, smiled, said thank you, and went back to my desk.
How long ago was this?
4 years. I still think about it.
Okay, so this is the episode.
This is the episode. Welcome to Real English Lounge. I'm Ethan.
And I'm Claire. Today we're talking about how to ask for a raise, the actual words, the structure that works, and why it feels so much harder than it should.
Before we start, subscribe on YouTube if this podcast is helping your English.
Comment challenge. Have you ever asked for a raise or wanted to and didn't? Tell us in one sentence, in English, in the comments.
Level check, B1 to B2. Professional English for real situations.
Word tour, words today, negotiate, merit, advocate, compensation, leverage, and counteroffer. 6 words for salary conversations.
Let's start with why it feels so awkward. Because objectively, asking for more money for work you're doing well is completely reasonable.
Completely reasonable.
And yet,
And yet,
why?
I think a lot of people have quietly connected their salary to their worth as a person. So asking for more feels like saying, I think I'm worth more, which feels presumptuous or awkward.
Like you're making a claim about yourself.
Right. Whereas if you reframe it, you're not making a claim about yourself. You're presenting information about the market and what you've delivered.
That's a very different conversation.
Completely different energy. One feels like begging. The other feels like a business discussion.
And only one of those is appropriate for a salary meeting.
Only one.
Can I tell you what I wish I'd done in that meeting?
Yes.
Research first. I had no idea what the market rate was for my role at the time. I just had a feeling I deserved more.
Which is not a number.
Which is not a number, and you can't negotiate with a feeling.
Right. The research changes everything. Because once you know what the market pays, you're not asking for a favor. You're presenting information.
Based on what I've looked at, roles like mine in this market are paying between X and Y.
That sentence comes from a completely different place than, I was hoping maybe we could look at my salary.
One sounds like a professional. The other sounds like you're apologizing for existing.
Exactly. So step 1, do the research. Salary sites, job postings for similar roles, conversations of people in similar positions.
And then you have a number that's based on something real.
Not a feeling, a fact. Step 2 is the structure of the actual conversation. And there's a simple framework that works really well.
What is it?
Context, contribution, ask.
Walk me through it.
Context first. You open by acknowledging where things stand positively. I've been in this role for 18 months, and I've genuinely enjoyed the work. Sets a good tone without being sycophantic.
You're not opening with a complaint.
Never open with a complaint. Not about cost of living, not about what colleagues earn. Those may be true. They're not the opening.
Contribution next.
2 or 3 specific things you've delivered since the last review. Not general, specific. I led the project that did X. I took on Y when it needed coverage. Concrete and verifiable.
So they can actually see the case being made.
Exactly. And then the ask, clearly stated. Based on the research I've done and what I've contributed, I'd like to discuss bringing my salary to X.
And then?
And then you stop talking.
That's it.
That's the hardest part. Most people ask and then immediately start softening it. I understand if it's not possible. I'm flexible. I know budgets are tight.
Which signals that you don't actually believe in your own ask.
Say the number, then be quiet. Let them respond.
The silence belongs to both of you.
You don't have to fill it.
What if they say no?
A no is not the end of the conversation.
What do you do?
You ask what would need to change for this to be a yes. What would I need to demonstrate, or what would need to happen for this to be reconsidered in the next review cycle?
So you turn a no into a roadmap.
Exactly. Because a flat no with no path forward is actually quite unusual. Most managers, if they respect you and want to keep you, will engage with that question.
They'll tell you what they need to see.
And now you have information. Either there's a clear path or there isn't, and you can make decisions accordingly.
That second part is important.
Very important. Sometimes the answer tells you something useful about whether this is the right place to stay.
Okay, and what if they say, let me think about it?
You agree to a specific follow-up time? Not, I'll get back to you. When specifically will we talk about this again? Pin it to a date.
Because otherwise it just drifts.
And momentum disappears. And then nothing happens.
Heh, which is what happened to me for 4 years.
Exactly. You ended up in a very long, let me think about it, that you never actually initiated.
Heh, I initiated nothing. I just hoped something would happen.
Which is a strategy, just not a great one. Time for the word tour. 6 words from today.
Definition, natural example, mini dialogue, and an upgrade phrase. Word 1, negotiate. Negotiate. Verb.
To negotiate means to have a discussion to reach an agreement, usually when two sides have different starting positions. Salary negotiation is normal and expected. Many employers actually build room into their initial offer specifically because they expect a negotiation.
Example, she'd always accepted the first offer without question until someone told her that the offer was the start of the conversation, not the end of it. The next time she negotiated, she left with more.
Mini dialogue. Did you negotiate when they made the offer?
I did, actually. For the first time, I said I was hoping for something closer to X and asked if there was flexibility.
And?
They came up. Not all the way, but the conversation took about 90 seconds and I left with more than I would have had.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, I ask for more, try, I negotiated the offer. I came in with a clear number based on research, and we reached an agreement that worked for both sides.
Word 2, merit. M-E-R-I-T, noun.
Merit is the quality of being particularly good or worthy. In a professional context, it refers to the value you bring based on your performance. A merit-based raise is one given because of what you've achieved, not just because time has passed.
Example, the conversation was entirely based on merit. She came with specific examples of what she delivered, and the case was almost impossible to dismiss.
Mini dialogue. How did you approach it?
I focused on merit rather than need. I didn't talk about cost of living or what I thought was fair. I talked about what I'd actually produced.
That framing makes it much harder to say no to.
That was the idea.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, I deserve more, try, I want to make a merit-based case for a salary review. Here's what I've contributed since we last discussed compensation.
Word 3, advocate. A-D-V-O-C-A-T-E, verb.
To advocate for yourself means to speak up for your own interests and value, clearly, without apology. It's a skill, and like most skills, it gets easier with practice.
Example, nobody was going to advocate for her salary the way she could. She had the information, the context, the track record. She just had to be willing to use them.
Mini dialogue. Are you nervous about asking?
Yes, but I've realized that nobody else is going to advocate for me in that room. If I don't make the case, it doesn't get made.
That's the clearest reason I've heard.
It's the only one I need.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, I need to speak up for myself, try, I'm learning to advocate for my own interests more clearly. Not aggressively, just directly. It's a skill I'm actively building.
Word 4, compensation. C-O-M-P-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N, noun.
Compensation is the total payment you receive for your work. Salary, but also bonuses, benefits, equity, additional leave. Using this word signals that you're thinking about the full picture, not just the monthly number.
Example, when he framed the conversation around total compensation rather than just salary, it opened up options. A performance bonus, a flexible arrangement that a pure salary discussion might have closed.
Mini dialogue. They said the salary budget is fixed.
That's one element of compensation. Are there other ways the package could move? Bonus structure, development budget, additional leave?
I hadn't thought about it that way.
When one door is closed, check if other doors exist.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, I want more money, try, I'd like to discuss my overall compensation. I'm interested in whether there's flexibility in the package beyond the base salary.
Word 5, leverage. L-E-V-E-R-A-G-E, noun.
Leverage is the advantage you have in a negotiation, something that increases your ability to get what you want. In a salary conversation, leverage comes from your performance, your market value, or simply the cost and disruption of replacing you.
Example, she hadn't realized how much leverage she had until she thought about what it would actually cost the company to recruit and train her replacement.
Mini dialogue. I feel like I have no power in this conversation.
You have more than you think. What would it cost them to replace you? How long would that take?
I've never thought about it from that angle.
Most people haven't, but that's your leverage. You don't have to say it out loud. You just have to know it.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of, I hope they agree, try, I went in knowing my leverage. Not arrogantly, just clearly. And that changed how I held myself in the conversation.
Last word, counteroffer. C-O-U-N-T-E-R-O-F-F-E-R, noun.
A counteroffer is a response to an offer that proposes different terms, usually a higher number or different conditions. Making a counteroffer is normal and expected. Many employers build room into their initial offer for exactly this reason.
Example, the offer was lower than she'd hoped. Instead of accepting or Walking away, she made a counteroffer, and they met her halfway without hesitation.
Mini dialogue. They offered me less than I expected.
Did you make a counteroffer?
I said thank you and asked for time to think.
Good. Now use that time to prepare a specific counteroffer, a clear number, and a clear reason. Not an ultimatum, a proposal.
Upgrade phrase. Instead of I asked for more, try I made a counteroffer. I thanked them for the offer, said I was very interested, and proposed a number that reflected my experience and the market. We agree within one conversation. That's the word TOR. Negotiate, merit, advocate, compensation, leverage, counteroffer.
6 words that change how you walk into a salary conversation and how you walk out. Let's close. The conversation felt impossible for me for years, and a big part of that was I thought I was making a claim about my worth as a person.
When actually you're just presenting information about the market and what you've delivered.
Context, contribution, ask, say the number, then be quiet.
And if they say no, ask what would make it a yes. Turn it into a roadmap.
Comment challenge. Have you ever asked for a raise or wanted to and didn't? One sentence in English in the comments.
If this helped your English today, subscribe, give it a like, and share it with someone who deserves more and hasn't asked yet.
I'm Ethan. Say the number, then stop talking. That's the whole thing.
Real English Lounge. See you next time.
Your English journey doesn't end here.
Keep listening, keep learning, and keep speaking.
Choose your next conversation.
We'll see you in the next episode of Real English Lounge.